Life with Twilight, Chapter 4, written by Lonart8100, also known as me. Well, it's Friday night, and I'm sitting on the couch with my DVD collection. With all the trips Twilight and I have been taking, it's such a relief to just sit down on the couch and watch them. Now don't get me wrong, I really like taking these trips with her. We get to see new things, go to new places, and best of all, it gets me out of the house and into the world. But too much travel does take a toll on you, and it's nice to just stay at home on some nights. That's when Twilight comes home from work, stumbling across the floor like a worn-out dog. I guess she must have had a rough day. She puts down her purse and house keys before observing the empty kitchen.
Hey, Ty. What's for supper?
She asks curiously. The two of us have a system where if one gets home before the other, they clean the house and cook dinner. Obviously, since there was no class today, it was my turn. But I had a different idea. Since she's been showing me her interests, I thought it was time I showed her mine. Actually, Twilight, I start. I thought for tonight we'd order a pizza and watch a movie.
Movie?
She asks. Yeah, a bit like that stuff you watch on TV, except on a disc, I say, showing her a sample. Twilight becomes curious and then kicks off her shoes before jumping onto the couch next to me. I then tell her to hold on while I order the pizza. As I dial, I find myself thinking about how long it's been since I had a night like this. My sister and I used to do this all the time when Mom and Dad were around. Just sitting at home, pigging out on pizza while watching a movie. I hope the evening goes the same with Twilight. While we wait for the pizza, I start making popcorn for afterwards and ask Twilight to pick the movie. She shifts through my large collection, not having a clue where to start.
How about this one?
She asks, acknowledging the DVD she picked. I take a look at the DVD and see that it's Ridley Scott's Alien. She probably picked it because she loves space study and is quite fascinated with the theory of life outside our galaxy. I don't think so, Twilight. I mean, that's a pretty scary movie. Twilight simply glares at me with a smug look on her face.
Oh, please. It can't be much scarier than this mess.
Twilight responds, showing me the mess of scattered DVDs on the floor. I simply chuckle at the joke. Ever since she started working at the library, she's become a bit of a stickler when it comes to organization. The girl organizes everything, even the money in her purse. I, on the other hand, have a tendency to not be so organized, often leaving things wherever they are, and sometimes losing them. I often find myself calling Twilight in just to help me find what I'm looking for, like the bills. So knowing that she's not the kind to back down from a challenge, I give up and let her have her way. And besides, I do love that movie. About 15 minutes later, the pizza arrives, and once we're all set up, I dim the lights and start the movie. The whole time, Twilight's gazing at the screen with great wonder. I'm quite amazed, considering that by this point most girls would probably be clinging to the closest thing in sight. Yet here she is, anxiously gazing at this creepy movie with amazement and wonder. Then it happens. We come to the scene where Captain Dallas is crawling through the air vents, when all of a sudden he's ambushed by the alien. The creature springs out of its hiding place, making a loud hissing noise. Twilight jumps back in fear and leans against my arm. Twilight, but before I can finish, I hear a giggle. Twilight starts laughing about how scary that was. Before I know it, I start laughing too. The room is then filled with the sound of our laughter, so much so that we have to pause the movie just to calm down. A full 5 minutes pass before we're finally able to resume the film. That's when Twilight rests her head on my shoulder.
You mind if I lay here, Ty?
She asks with a smile. No, I say, slightly embarrassed. Twilight then gets comfortable as she enjoys the rest of the film. As she lies there, I can feel my heart beating rapidly. It almost feels like the two of us are on a date. I'm not quite sure why I feel this way. She is my roommate after all. I see and talk to her all the time. And yet, I'm getting a weird feeling right now. One I haven't felt before. Finally, the film ends, and Twilight starts laughing again.
Wow, that was scary. How do you think they made that creature look so real?
She asks. It was a costume, made up of latex, I respond.
Really? But what about the head?
It was a separate piece, with controls to operate the mouth. That's when Twilight turns her full attention to me and asks to know more. I can't believe this. A girl is actually interested in my movie knowledge? Even my sister got slightly annoyed by it when we were younger, often labeling me a nerd. But here's Twilight Sparkle, curled up on the couch asking to hear everything I know. So, I decide to give her what she wants and start my long explanation. It felt like hours had passed, with just the two of us chatting the night away. I even start playing some of the special features on the DVD, just to give her more insight. She didn't just want to know about the alien creature, she wanted to know about the sets, the cast, everything that went into making the film. And the more I told her, the more excited she got. She found it all to be both funny and fascinating. After a long chatting session, she falls asleep on the couch. I then look at the kitchen clock and see it's nearly 2 o'clock a.m., way past her usual bedtime. I grab a blanket and cover her up, letting her sleep peacefully on the couch. I head back to my room where my computer is waiting. I see that it's downloaded the last episode of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, as in the last of the series. I watch the episode, and then shut off my computer with a sorrowful look on my face. I hate to admit it, but I've been secretly watching the series without Twilight knowing. But I've been doing it to help her. I've been hoping, if my theory about her is correct, that the show would have some sort of clue as to why she's here. But no such luck. While doing the research, I've also found out that the show has ended production. The writing crew decided to end the series after its 5th season, as they didn't want to write the show into the ground. Ironically, they made this announcement the same day Twilight appeared in my living room. There are plans to replace it with a new My Little Pony cartoon, one that goes back to using characters from the original 1980s show. That's not all. I've also learned that numerous Brony websites are losing visitors, most likely in response to the show being cancelled. I'm also not seeing nearly as much fan art on DeviantArt as there once was. It seems the Brony ship is sinking, disappearing into nothingness. Twilight doesn't know about any of this. I haven't told her. I keep meaning to do so, but I'm held back by my emotions. I can't get these thoughts out of my head. I mean, she's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. For the first time in what feels like years, I'm finally getting out of the house and getting to truly experience the world I live in. On top of that, I really like her as a friend. She's always happy to see me when I get home. She's always open to my suggestions. And hey, how many other girls would actually want to hear me give an hour-long commentary about a movie? She's truly one of a kind. I actually find myself thinking about her all the time. Whenever I'm having a tough time at work, or trying to wrestle my way through exams, she's what gets me through the day. I'm always looking forward to getting home and seeing her, telling her about my day, and then sharing a laugh with her. I don't really know why I have these thoughts. Maybe it's just part of having a roommate. Maybe it's something else. But either way, these thoughts are like a solid brick wall that I just can't fight my way around. I'm afraid if I show her the series, I might wind up losing her and having to go back to my old boring life of loneliness. Is this wrong? Am I being selfish? She may not be the real Twilight Sparkle anyway, so maybe none of it matters. I don't know. I feel like I'm lying to my roommate, and I truly hate it. But I just can't fight these emotions. Hopefully, they'll pass in a matter of time, and I just need to be patient. So that's what I'll do. I'll let Twilight have some more fun and enjoy it until these emotions die down. Then, once they're gone, I'll show her the series and see if my theory is correct. I only hope to be spared as much pain as possible.